Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something that could genuinely make a massive difference in an emergency. How to handle a burn the right way. Seriously, what you do in those first few minutes is absolutely critical. So let's just jump right in.
Burns are one of the most common injuries out there, and they usually happen right at home. It could be a simple mistake while cooking or something a bit more serious. Either way, it happens in a split second, and how we react right then and there, that's what really counts.
So just imagine this for a second. You're in the kitchen, a hot pan slips, and boom, searing pain. What's your gut reaction? What's the first thing you do? Really think about it, because what feels right, well, it might be totally wrong. And that is the absolute key here. We've all heard those old wives' tales about treating burns, right? Stuff we've probably heard our entire lives. But here's the crazy part. A lot of these so-called remedies actually do way more harm than good.
Okay, so let's cut through all that confusion. Let's get straight to the one thing, the single most important action you need to take. If you remember nothing else from this, remember this.
Here it is, the golden rule. Get that burn under cool, running water. Right away. And notice I said cool, not freezing cold, just regular cool tap water. This is what stops the skin from continuing to burn, it provides relief, and it can seriously reduce how bad the injury ends up being.
So how long do you do this for? This part is huge. You need to keep it under that cool water for a full 20 minutes. I know it sounds like an eternity when you're in pain, but there's solid science behind this. That's how long it takes to properly pull the heat out of the tissue and really minimize the damage.
All right, so now that we know the right thing to do, let's talk about all the wrong things. It is time to bust some of the biggest and most dangerous myths about treating burns.
First up, the ice myth. I get it. It seems to make sense. Fight fire with ice, right? Wrong. Putting ice directly on a burn is a terrible idea. That extreme cold can damage the already fragile skin even more. You could actually end up with frostbite on top of the burn. No thank you.
Oh, this is a classic one. Smearing butter on a burn. Please, whatever you do, never ever do this. Instead of helping, all that grease does is trap the heat in, like putting a lid on a frying pan. It makes the burn deeper and can also introduce nasty bacteria, which just ups the risk of infection.
And it's the same deal with any thick creams or ointments. Look, your number one job is to get the heat out. Slathering stuff on top does the exact opposite. It seals the heat in. Plus, it can make it really hard for a doctor to see what they're dealing with later. Always, always cool it first.
Okay, so you've done it. You've followed the golden rule, you've cooled the burn for a solid 20 minutes. Awesome. What's next? Let's go through the simple action plan for what to do after that initial cooling is done.
It really just boils down to these three simple things. We've got number one down, cool the burn. So now let's focus on 2 and 3, remove tight items and cover loosely.
This one is super important, and you've got to be quick about it. Burned skin swells up, and it can happen fast. So getting off any rings, watches, tight sleeves, anything restrictive before that swelling starts is crucial. It can prevent major problems down the line, like cutting off blood flow.
Once it's cooled and you've removed anything tight, you want to protect the area. The main goal here is just to keep it clean. A sterile dressing is obviously best, but if you're in a pinch, you know what works amazingly well? Clean plastic wrap. Seriously, it won't stick to the wound and it keeps it sterile. Just stay away from anything fluffy, like cotton balls, because those little fibers can get stuck in the burn.
Okay, this is vital. We have to know when a burn is more than you can handle at home. Some are totally fine to manage yourself, but others are straight-up medical emergencies. Let's look at the red flags you need to watch out for.
If you see any of these signs, you need to get medical help, period. If the burn is bigger than the palm of your hand, if it looks really deep or white or charred, call for help. Any burn on a critical area like the face, hands, or joints is an automatic trip to the doctor. And this goes double for chemical or electrical burns, or if the person is a small child or an older adult. Don't wait.
So, let's put it all together in a super simple cheat sheet. The do's: cool with running water, cover it with a clean dressing, and get that tight jewelry and clothing off. And the big don'ts: don't use ice, butter, or oil. Don't pop any blisters that might show up, and don't use fluffy cotton. That's it. Following these simple rules is your best line of defense.
And I really want this to sink in. This isn't just some random trivia. Knowing this stuff can genuinely alter the course of an injury. What you do in those first few minutes can literally make a lifelong difference in the pain someone feels, how they heal, and what that burn looks like years from now.
So now you have the right information, you know what to do. But knowledge is only powerful if you can act on it, right? So the last thing I want to ask you is this: is your first aid kit at home actually ready for this? Do you even have sterile dressings in there? Knowing what to do is step one. Being prepared to actually do it, well, that's the next.